everyone, my name is QueenE and today I'm bringing you another patch note reading. Palia just got patch 0.169. Nice. So without further ado, let's read on to see what's new. So the title is, Psst, have you noticed? Looks like we are solidly toward the end of September. Gosh, this year has really flown past, hasn't it? And just as the leaves turn in the autumn season, Palia will be going through some changes as well. We are seeing the end to some things, the start of others, and in some cases, a whole new look. Change truly is the theme of this patch, so read on below to see what's in store. So at a glance, we have 4 new premium store outfits that have been added to the game. The Magi Market has come to a close. Zeki's Underground Black Market has been revamped, and you can interact with bathtubs and sinks and watch the water flow. The celebration cake has been rebalanced. Interesting. All right. So obviously these are the new premium outfits. I really like the fairy looking one. I bet that one's going to be heckin' expensive. So this is actually called Sylph. I'm reading right here. So you got the smoking jacket, the Sylph, folk flowers, and everyday flair. Oh, equip the one piece to have a butterfly trail effect whenever you move. Wow, that's pretty. God, I can't look at this. It's too expensive. My wallet cries. There's also some new features and quality of life additions, which is great. The Magi Market has come to an end. Thank you everyone for participating in our first event. Rest assured, the Magi Market will be back one day. Well, they did say that, didn't they? We're also aware there are several issues related to individual and party-based stamp cards accomplishments that unfortunately were not able to be fixed by the time of its closure. For players that have met the requirements and did not receive the reward, we are looking to grant the missing items to you soon. Additional updates will be provided in a separate notice. Overall, we learned a lot from our first game event during open beta, and for what themed events should be like for Palia. We plan to use this experience to make our next event even better. Thank you. That's good to hear because honestly, this event was kind of rough around the edges. They did a lot of fixes that made it so much better over time, so thank you devs for that. Super, super nice. But yeah, it was definitely a bit of a miss when it was first launched, so I'm glad it seems that they've taken a lot of learnings from that experience, so I'm looking forward to the future events. The area for the Grimalkin Underground, Zeki's Black Market, has been completely revamped. Oh boy. So, Singularity 6 Eris may have teased in an AMA that the Black Market would be getting a glow up. Well, it's here. Oh, it does. From the screenshot, it looks really cute. We hope to create a space where players can gather and socialize, because who doesn't love to hang out in a shady cave? If you're wondering what the significance of this location is, the stars of this show are Reth and Zeki. Make sure to fulfill their friendship quest for more background information. Here are some new points of interest worth checking out. Zeki may or may not have used his duplifier to clone the Wondrous Machine, so now a second one can be accessed from the black market for your convenience. Well, that's really good, actually. Reth will now have a proper bar to work at while visiting here. He'll sell some of the same items you'd see when he's over at the Ormushorn Inn. We have plans to eventually change this into more unique items, but for now, let's chalk it up to Reth wanting more people to try out his lettuce soup. Fair enough. The Neil emote has been added. All right, that's cute. Helping us model this emote is Neil. Nice. Our previous patch got you feeling hot. Cool down with a bit of running water from your home. So, and there's even a little video here. Oh, look at that. Oh, it fills up. That's cute. That's a really nice detail. Okay. Interact with a bathtub to have it fill up with water, and interact with the sink to have the faucet running. Fortunately, you won't have to pay any utility bills. Don't let Eshy hear about it. Oh gosh, if only that was true for real life. You can now destroy crops. Oh my god, this has finally been put into the game. I am so grateful. Despite all the meticulous planning involved, sometimes things happen whenever you just plant the wrong seed accidentally. With the hoe tool selected, hold right-click over the specific slot you wish to remove the seed from. You have to fully complete the animation for it to be destroyed. So it's not that easy to accidentally destroy seeds either, which is good. And if you're wondering, no, you will not get the seed back. Please be mindful when deciding what to plant. Ooh, gotta be careful. Need more seeds? Consider buying them at Zeki's, says Zeki, of course, who else? When you're online, crops will now continue growth without requiring you to visit your housing plot. This change is meant to alleviate the pressure some folks were feeling in needing to check in their housing plot every Palian day. Now you can adventure around without too much worry. Just don't forget to keep your crops watered when they need it. Note, as a reminder, the maximum stage of growth a crop can go through, minus bonuses and fertilizer, is 1 stage per Palian day. Got it. So I'm still a little frustrated with this. Like, this is a good change, don't get me wrong, because needing to visit your housing plot... I mean, we had to visit the housing plot pretty frequently anyways to, you know, store items and stuff like this, because backpacks are small and storage is small, so there's a lot of, like, traveling back and forth from, like, Ziki's store to... Yeah, there's just a lot of visiting your housing plot in general, but... I am a little bit frustrated that they didn't make it so that the crops grow when you're offline. I get that they're probably trying to do this to increase players' active playtime, but if you're anything like me, when I've run out of stuff to do, which is pretty frequently right now, I will literally just sit on my housing plot watching YouTube videos or live streams and then just like basically move my character around every couple minutes, just idly, and waiting for the timer to tick over so that my crops will grow. And to me, that's not very fulfilling or engaging. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I might just have to take a bit of a Palia break until the game is in a more polished state further down the line in the future. Because at the moment, I just feel like I understand that this is beta, you know, like I'm totally aware of that. But it feels like an earlier beta than what most people expected. And I've gone over this before as well in a previous video. But right now, I just feel like a lot of my frustrations with this game is still gonna take a lot longer for them to work out. So I don't want to log in just to get frustrated over and over and feel like there is nothing really left for me to do, because I still find basic things like farming for Palium is incredibly frustrating. Farming for flow trees is still frustrating. The fact that like the rare hunting beasts teleport into walls and objects and then you can no longer get them, super frustrating. And the things that I enjoy is the idly sort of farming activities. But I get frustrated every time because the things that I currently need, which is a lot of Palium, a lot of flow trees, etc., is more frustrating to farm for. Not to mention it takes such a long time. It's just a tedious experience to run all the way from your housing plot over to Bahari. Like, it's just, at the moment, for me personally, it's not a very satisfying gaming experience. And I totally appreciate that we're not all the same, and a lot of you do not feel the same way, and that's absolutely totally valid. I'm so glad that you're having a great time. But I mean, even though the patches are coming through really fast, and I gotta give the devs cred for this, they are patching things. They are coming out with more content like every 2 weeks. It's very, very nice to see, and it's good effort on them. But yeah, I just might have to take a bit of a break until there is more engaging content to actually partake in. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Like, where are you at in your Palia experience so far? Like, what are your thoughts? Because I'm super curious if I'm like alone in feeling these frustrations, because that might absolutely be the case. I might be the only one that gets annoyed by this, and that might just mean that it's not the game for me right now until more stuff is happening. So, but yeah, I would love to know. So please leave a comment below. Anyways, moving on. The icon for tomato and apple seeds have been updated to be more visually distinct. Thank goodness. The amount of times I nearly sold apple seeds instead of tomato seeds. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm really glad that they're making a little bit of a change. I still think they look pretty similar though, so still be careful, guys. The UI for adjusting door and wall styles for your housing add-ons has been updated to be more intuitive. That's nice. This is the setting that can be accessed from the top down or age menu. Overall, there should be less clutter and only the relevant options will appear based on what add-on you're trying to customize. That's good. The recipes for hot hounds and crab gumbo have now been properly added to the game. We know we said they were supposed to have been added with the last patch, but for real, they should now be discoverable. The recipes can be found in the homes of 2 certain villagers, respectively. Let's say it's not a bug we fixed, but a feature. Enjoy 2 new dishes ready for you to cook. Several items are now properly categorized as equipment in storage rather than a consumable. This includes resource trackers kits, the smoke candle, and honey lures. They say Auni is still trying to consume honey lures, but no one wants to break the news for him. Aw. In the workbench, tool recipes have been moved out of the equipment tab and will now have its own tab. Oh, that is such a relief. We wanted to reduce the amount of scrolling Palians were doing to craft more common recipes like ammo and bug bombs. Their new location is under a new tools tab. That's great. I like that adjustment a lot. Oh, and there's more adjustment. As we mentioned in our intro, the theme of this patch is change, and adjustments to our skills are no exception. This is the moment where we address the topic that many have been waiting on, how we plan to balance cake parties. Oh gosh. We knew with how cooking was designed that the ceiling for profit, especially with other players, had the potential to be very high. But for the most lucrative and scalable recipe, seeing how the community has come together to embrace what would come to be known as cake parties was truly a sight to behold. We wanted to see it for ourselves, and as we participated in many parties, we saw firsthand the magic that's made when players come together, work toward a common goal, and reap the rewards. From that experience, we knew that this was the kind of thing that needed to be preserved for the social, multiplayer game that we want Palia to be. But then the bad news. Celebration cakes were simply just too profitable. Based on the data we saw, it wasn't just outscaling every other dish. Celebration cakes were making more profit than with any other gold-generating activity in any skill by a large margin. With these two main considerations in mind, we set out to make adjustments that ultimately should create a healthier and more sustainable cooking experience for the long run. Below are the changes we made, and we will do our best to explain our reasoning behind each one. Cooking. Too long didn't read. Celebration cakes now sell for about 40% less. Reaching this number required some adjustments to cooking overall in an effort to bring celebration cakes more in line. So the following changes are made in an attempt to target the celebration cake recipe directly. The recipe for celebration cake has been changed. The requirement for any preserve has been changed to any fruit. The recipe will also now require sugar, which can be bought from the general store for 20 gold. The buy and sell value for butter has been reduced. You can buy it for 40 gold instead of 80 gold, and you can sell it for 20 instead of 40. The buy and sell value for milk has also been reduced. So you could buy it for 30 gold now instead of 60, and you sell it for 15 instead of 30. It's important to know that the sell value for cooked dishes is determined through a formula that is based on the value of the ingredients used. Thus, the ingredients for celebration cake in particular made it exponential in the value gained in light of what was put in. This is what we focused on in our balancing. Even with these changes though, we realized that co-op cooking was still generating value several levels higher than all other activities. This unfortunately meant we had to adjust the value of all dishes collectively in order to complement the changes we had for cakes. Which is a shame because cooking is like the only group activity that is like an actual group activity in the game right now. So it's kind of sad that they're making that less worthwhile. All cooking dishes have had their sell values reduced by 25%. We know this will be a major change to the cooking experience, especially in how it impacts those who'd prefer to cook solo to earn gold. Yup. Because a dish's focus value is directly tied to their sell value, this also resulted in the following changes. I don't know if I like that the focus is directly tied to the sell value, to be honest, because I think that it should be worthwhile to cook certain dishes specifically for the focus benefits and certain dishes specifically for the monetary value, right? Like, I just feel like it's a little bit wonky that the focus and sale value are so tied together. But anyways, the following dishes will now grant more focus. So the bouillabaisse, the mushroom quiche, quiche bahari, sushi, meaty udon, and poke. And the following dishes will now grant less focus. That's a lot. Stuffed mushrooms, steak dinner or wreath steak dinner, akwindu chapa, chapa masala, creamy carrot soup, loaded potato soup, or Reth's potato soup, macaron, blueberry pie, apple pie, celebration cake, onigiri, and Reth's onigiri, crab pot pie. So loads of things are now granting a lot less focus, and just a handful are giving you a little bit more. The most noticeable example will likely be macarons, which went from 225 focus to 100 focus, because this particular recipe was actually being calculated incorrectly on top of the changes we made. This resulted in notably higher focus values than other dishes of comparable value, and thus the steepest reduction we had to make out of all the dishes. That said, we hope these changes will really set a good foundation for cooking moving forward, especially when done with friends. Our goal is for there to be a variety of recipes to choose from so that it's cooking parties, not just cake parties. You can also be on the lookout for new recipes coming soon that we hope will be just as fun and worthwhile to cook. For now though, celebration cakes still reign at the top, just not as high as the tower they were on before. Then there's some gardening and fishing changes as well. The tooltip for the Speedy Grow fertilizer has been updated to better reflect its function. Oh, so before, fertilizer that doubles the growth rate of crops, okay? And now it's actually fertilizer that for every 2 days of growth grants an additional bonus day of growth. So it's actually just 1/3 of the growth bonus instead of double, which, okay. The sell value has also been reduced from 10 to 5, and the cost to buy the fertilizer from the Gardening Guild store has been reduced from 20 to 10 medals. We noticed comments from players who weren't certain what the intended behavior of Speedy Grow was supposed to be. Note, the behavior remains the same, we haven't touched that, and we realized the description needed updating to be more accurate. Right, so it's never been doubling the growth rate of crops. That's always been a false description. So that's good to know, guys. So keep that in mind if you want to use Speedy Grow. These adjustments to Speedy Grow actually go hand in hand with changes we have to the worm farms, which is outlined below. Worm farms and glow farms will produce less from cooked dishes. Why? Because that's more ingredients. Like, that's more expensive to put in the worm and glowworm farms, right? So it makes sense that they got a lot. Okay. Worm farms and glowworm farms will produce more when a star quality ingredient is added, when previously this was not being accounted for. I mean, I guess that's good, but I still wouldn't want to put star quality ingredients in the worm farms either way. Glowworm farms will also produce twice as much Speedy Grow fertilizer compared to before. Alright, interesting. The reasoning for these changes started as a part of our research in how to tune cake parties. We noticed that of the population participating in cake parties, some were taking their celebration cakes and adding it to the glowworm farm for maximum profit. This led us to identify 2 issues. One was that what the farms produce should be relative to the added item's value. The bug was that a cooked dish of the exact same value as a crop would actually produce more. So we had to fix that. 2, we also noticed that the results would be the same regardless of whether you added in a star quality or normal quality ingredient, which was not intended. Again, this was another bug that we took to fix. We believe this will benefit a majority of players as it should increase farm outputs overall. Well, you're saying here the bug was that a cooked dish of the same exact value as a crop would actually produce more. But, I mean, shouldn't that be the case? Because you spend time and effort to turn that crop into something different. Even if that's just increasing the yield slightly in the worm farms and stuff, isn't that fair? I mean, what is the incentive otherwise to, like, again, it was one of those small things that made cooking or turning your crops into something different, even if it is to put in a glowworm farm, something worthwhile doing. Some decisions still confuse me, but as I said, if I take a break for a while and then come back later, maybe it will all tie together and make sense in the future. It's just right now, it's a little strange to me. We also want to call out that the changes to Speedy Grow in particular should come out to a net neutral. The sell value was halved, but the output from farms was doubled. Overall, utilizing fertilizer, including speedy growth, should be a net benefit to your gardening output for most cases. Mining. Medium-sized pallium nodes now drop an additional pallium ore. So the new minimum you can get is 2. Oh, thank goodness for that. Medium-sized pallium nodes now also grant more skill EXP to better match their small and large counterparts. These were both bugs we noticed and fixed, which should help improve the mining experience a bit. Happy mining! I mean, that still doesn't touch on like my personal inherent frustration with mining for especially pallium, but I mean, this is a good change. Foraging, another area we wanted to target was foraging. We noticed that the income brought in from this skill was a little below expected targets. We don't expect foraging to produce the same amount of income as more active skills such as fishing or hunting, but want to nudge things in a more positive direction. The value for all tree seeds has been increased. Well, that's good because tree seeds are really rare. The value for rare oyster drops has been increased. Good, because again, they're rare. By increasing tree seed values, we think this should help out players, especially during the mid to late game progression. Previously, tree seeds were priced to incentivize decoration as its main usage, but have now provided a more viable alternative to sell them if you wanted to. With the increase to pearl values, we think it's a useful universal buff that directly adds gold value when foraging. Though we know newer players don't always adventure out to Bahari beaches, hopefully this will be a bit more of an incentive. We'll keep evaluating how these changes land, and we're hoping to keep improving the skill based on what we see. Conclusion. It's been an incredible experience as we've gone from alpha into beta. It's a much bigger playing field and one we are still learning to better accommodate. With all these new players means more data, more feedback, and more information for us to evaluate, adjust, and communicate out accordingly. One of the benefits of being a live service game is that Palia is constantly evolving. Change can be scary, especially when it's perceived as nerfs. The biggest takeaway? Nothing is set in stone. We will continue to improve, and it's because of our players with so many beta testers here with us, we know that Palia will be a game we can truly be proud of and share to the world. We want to thank everyone who's with us and will continue to be with us as we navigate this incredible journey together. Right, so that's really nice, and there's new frequently asked questions, which I will get to in a second. But as I mentioned as well, like, for me, many of the pain points are very much still existing in the game, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's currently enough. As I said, I find myself not having a lot to do, and couple that with the fact that I can't really go out and forage. I can't really go out and mine. I can't really do any of those things. And do you know why? Because my inventory at my house plot is full, and I can't afford the upgrade. So there is nowhere for me to put anything. And I'm a collector. I like collecting things, so I have materials and stuff for future projects or stuff that I want to accomplish. But I feel like I can't keep anything in my storage because as soon as you get any sort of volume of anything, the storage just fills up. Like, I honestly don't know what to do, except I just keep on farming and then I wait for the hours to tick by as I'm online so that I can just sell the crops and repeat. So that I eventually, in, 7 to 8 months, can upgrade my final storage piece. And then the problem will get to the point where I will fill up that storage too. And then we're back to the same thing. So I think there's like a fundamental issue in the longevity of the game based on like storage alone. Never mind like the balance changes or anything like that. Because for me personally, I just don't really have anything I can do because I can't do the things that I typically enjoy in these types of games. Am I alone in this? Anyways, there's a new frequently asked questions section that I think we should get through as well. This section will be a chance for us to answer some common questions and comments we've seen from the community. Are there going to be outfits added with every patch? Yes, we need to make money to keep developing Palia and have it be the game we and our players dream it to be. Selling premium outfits is currently the only way we're making that money, so expect this to be the case for a while. Of course, we are always open to considering other ways to monetize based on feedback from our players, and we'll continue to evolve our approach over time. Are you going to do something about how players are treating others when it comes to scarce resources like pallium nodes? Please say something good here. We're very aware of the feedback and discussions that have been raised as of late. We want to be able to find solutions that make sense, and because these are social features that have a large impact on our player base, we need time to do it right. We'll do our best to share more when we're ready, right? So they're working on it, but they can't talk about it. I get so frustrated trying to get the sushi recipe or a certain rare fish after so many attempts. Do you plan on doing anything about it? So for the sushi recipe, we actually think it may be a bug. For more information, please see the known issues section of these notes. For other cases though, we're definitely aware it can be frustrating after many attempts of not getting what you need, especially if it is to progress in the game. There's room for some nice solutions to help alleviate this, but we'll have to think about it. My homestead wall cabinet used to have dishes in it, but now that's gone. What happened? Oops, you're actually seeing work in progress of something we'll be adding in a future update. The ability to open closed doors for cabinets, pantries, and the like, as well as being able to add your own decor in them. Lots of Palians have requested more interactivity with furniture, and we've been working on that. Right, so they sort of broke it as they're trying to change it, so okay. Why does it seem like the game icons of several decor items do not match their 3D model? The icons are often made from initial concept art of furniture, but because of various factors, the end result of the actual 3D/in-game object may look different. We're looking to update the icons to better match the result and to better set expectations. Oh, I thought they'd do it the other way around. Like they're looking to upgrade the 3D in-game objects to make them look more similar to the icons because the icons are usually much more interesting. That's a bit sad. There's also like the huge bug fixes list, which is massive. So they fixed over 100 known issues this patch cycle, which is a lot. And then, there's a lot. And then there's also the top known issues section, which I think would be worthwhile going, but then there's also the expanded one. So if you want to read these yourself, as always, the link to these patch notes will be in the description below. But let's check the top known issues for this patch so we can hopefully avoid them. Although the Magi Market has ended, we know there are players who have not received their stamp card rewards. Over the next few days, we will be awarding everyone who accomplished these achievements through the in-game mail system. Check the clipboard icon in your player menu. Stay tuned for updates and a separate notice when your awards have arrived in-game. Yeah, they did mention this at the top of these patch notes as well. There are ongoing issues with general achievements, including darkened silhouettes for previously caught critters and rewards not being granted. We're continuing to look into this. The sushi recipe cannot be fished at this time. Thank you to everyone who reported this. It's helped us to find the root cause and start looking into a fix. Adding 99 fertilizer to all 9 slots of a gardening plot will make it uninteractable. Please avoid doing so, otherwise you will lose out on soil plots and not be able to garden. Symptoms include you can no longer add new crops to the plot, you can no longer pick it up, the plot itself becomes invisible but still present, etc. So they have still not fixed this one. This is still very much in the game, so please take care when you're fertilizing and do not fertilize everything to max. Interacting with the wardrobe while your character is stuck in the missing textures and T-posing appearance will cause your character to reset and change appearance list permanently. Please avoid interacting with the wardrobe, otherwise your character will change with no way to adjust certain settings. At the moment, the workaround for the T-posing issue is to simply relog into the game. This was also mentioned in the previous patch note, so yeah, they still haven't found a fix for that, so please avoid interacting with your wardrobe, guys. If players have full inventories and they have space in their storage, they receive a "wow, your inventory is full" error pop-up when trying to pick up their house or housing add-ons. This can be especially challenging when picking up your house while star quality fish and insects are placed, as these may accidentally be destroyed. Having just one empty slot available in your inventory will allow you to move your house and housing add-ons, so please be careful, guys. If you move things around, please make sure you have one empty slot in your inventory. That is a weird bug, and it's been there since the last patch as well. So, just take care, guys. And as I said, there's an expanded known issues list. There's also, more bug fixes. All this sort of stuff is in the patch notes that I will have linked below. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching or listening, and I hope you're having a great time in Palia. As I said, I might personally take a slight break from this game. We'll see how it goes. I still love it, and I still want it to succeed. So, as I said, it might just be time for me to take a little bit of a breather, explore different games, and then come back when there's more to explore for me personally. As always, if you're new to my channel, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. I'm also live on Twitch most days, and we have a thriving community on Discord as well. So yeah, thank you so much, guys, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye!